I enjoyed learning about the different types of extremism and how extremism comes into effect in the first place and how it affects different places around the world.
Yeah, I like how we get to have kind of like debates about things, like it's not all just kind of being told something, like we get to express our opinions too.
I think it's a good opportunity to do this, like it's like once in a lifetime you could do this, so I think it's pretty good to have a chance and do what we want to do.
I mostly enjoyed how we found out more about extremism and how they impacted society in negative and positive ways.
Well, I liked debating, and I also like that. I feel like it's nice to be able to talk about my opinions in here on certain subjects.
I most enjoyed being able to learn new things. There were things in these lessons that I never knew before, so I had the opportunity to advance my knowledge on these certain things, and it means now if someone else asked me questions that I'd learned today, I'd be able to tell them about it.
We did a task in the first lesson where we ordered different extremist groups, and I felt like I learned a lot from that by reading the information about what they did, because a lot of the stuff I didn't know before, and I just thought, oh yeah, I know about them, but I don't know what they did and what makes them extremists.
Yeah, and I feel like I got a proper definition of what it is to be an extremist, and how it is just against social norms kind of thing.
With the goofy thing, I was like, is that true? I thought I read something about it, but I wasn't sure about it. And then I just assumed, well, they're saying it is, so I assume it is. And so I'm just going to try and be less susceptible to trust my instinct more, I guess.
I really want to play it safe, when I'm on the internet. I don't want to talk to people I don't know yet. I don't want to fall into the holes of fake news.
Yeah, the trap.
Yeah, because they'll get you into say something about COVID-19. There's a new pandemic. Then we have to self-isolate. It could get people anxious like me. It could get me anxious, but now I know that it's fake. It's all fake, and people can make money out of it.
I think that now I feel like there's so many more traps than I thought before, because if you think about it, it's everywhere. Social media is absolutely everywhere. It's on everyone's phones. It's literally everywhere. So everyone says different things, and sometimes you don't know what to believe.
I think I would enjoy it more if we did these kind of things in other lessons.
I find it interesting how we can learn other people's opinions through debating.
I mainly thought extremism was violent until these lessons where I learned that you can have pacifist extremism and non-violent extremism, which I can now appreciate and I know a lot more about.
Yeah, me too.
Before extremism, the lesson on extremism, I wasn't aware of peaceful extremism and what other people may see as extremism to what I would see as extremism. So it's interesting to see what forms of extremism is across the globe.
I feel like the media, the news channels, put a really negative stigma around extremism, but I didn't realise there was any positive or non-violent extremism before.
Well, mainly I learnt about new people and extremists I've never heard out before, for example, the EDL on their Islamophobia. I never heard of them before.
Fake news generally is a topic that I think isn't spoken about enough, and when you think about it, it can affect things very harshly, because there's many things that aren't spoken about in the news.
A lot of things that you hear on the news or you see online may not always be true, and that can usually lead to people's negative views on something. The stereotype that all Muslims are terrorists, that's because newsletters will always do terrorisms were Muslims, and then that'll make people think, oh well, all Muslims must be terrorists, where it's never the case. So if they're not true or they only have half truths, then it can put really negative views on some things.
Certain media reporters have points of view they want to put across, and they sort of misrepresent the point to suit what sort of like their agenda or on certain subjects. So it's good to have sort of a variety of news stories so you can identify what is true and what isn't.
Fake news doesn't get talked about too much, so I think we need to talk about it more because it's very serious and it could cause many problems in the world. And maybe it can make the world a bit more peaceful.
It's important to have shared and common values in society because it helps the society and community to progress. Because if you don't have these, there'll be like stepping stones people have to get over, people not getting along. So if we all share them, and that means we all have the same common goal and we can all progress with each other.
I think in society it's very important so we can all live equally and have the rights to trust each other, and with the laws we feel secure, and instead of like feeling unsafe around people we can have more trust with people and be loyal. And
Yeah, I feel like they really represent like the people of Britain, and like people that like have moved over here, like if they see them then they know how to, you know, fit in here.
Helps everyone sort of go forward and sort of be nicest to each other and be what Britain, or what lots of people in Britain want Britain to be like, a nice place to live in with democracy and law enforcement and everything.